Well, it's the Rally Azores. We're in the middle of the Atlantic. We're looking forward to a great weekend here with the IRC. But one of the most exciting things about this weekend is the official launch of the new Subaru R4. We've waited a little while for this car, and joining me to have a look around this new R4 Subaru is George Donaldson. George, project manager of the STI project here. This is exciting. It's an exciting time for you guys. R4, though, a little bit confusing for a lot of people out there. Just very briefly tell us, what was the thinking behind the R4 category?
The R4 is a simple and cheap way, relatively cheap way, to upgrade the performance of a Group N car, to make it nicer to drive, to make it stronger and quicker against the S2000 competition. And we hope we've achieved that. We'll find out this weekend. Well,
let's have a look at the car, George. I have to say, it more or less looks exactly the same as a Group N car to me, but there are some subtle changes. Some slightly more obvious changes to the front end of the car. Talk us through those.
Okay, we have these rather clever bonnet vents. This reduces the underbody temperature, under bonnet temperature, sorry, by up to 30 to 40 degrees. It reduces the water temperature in the car, and it reduces the air temperature through the intercooler. So it's a massive benefit for us. This very simple, very low cost benefit is worth a huge amount of power and performance to us.
So a lot of these changes, George, let's have a look around the car. A lot of the changes are in the bodywork. I think people do forget that the Group N category, it is showroom class. It's more or less exactly the same car with a few very minor changes, but you've been allowed to make a few changes here. Let's have a quick look here.
We've been able to make the suspension much stronger. So we have fabricated suspension parts on the car. We have all rose jointed suspension, spherical bearing suspension, so the car is much more responsive to drive, much more direct to drive, but still maintaining all the drivability of the Group N car. So it's more fun to drive, it's still dead easy to drive, and every driver will be able to get a massive performance benefit immediately they drive the car.
So just show us in here then. Let's have a look in here. Let's get down and have a look. So exactly what's changed here. This is, you talk us through the suspension part. There's the strut, there's the whatever. You tell us what they are.
What you see there has basically not changed very much at all. The changes are subtle. So we've got a stronger bottom ball joint. We've got a proper spherical bearing in the A-arm and a changed spherical bearing here, which allows to cope with the increased travel. We have a changed top mount, which we cannot see without the bonnet open, so there's much longer travel on the front suspension. We've had to change the bearings, and everything is now spherical bearings, so much stronger.
Doesn't mean a lot to me, George, but well explained. Let's have a look at the rest of the car then. Now, again, the old Group N cars, these were standard doors, standard windows. All this has changed, I believe.
Incorporated in the body lightening process. We've been allowed to fit plastic windows, which you can see here. They're absolutely perfect glass. We have the FIA safety foam in the doors, same as a WRC car. That's the 6-ply carbon door. And this increases the side impact of survivability of the car by a massive amount. And this is one of the key benefits. To be honest, I would go R4 no matter what, just to get the benefit of this safety.
That's very interesting, George, because obviously the R4, one of the main, I suppose, objectives for you guys was to reduce the weight, to get the car lighter. It was too heavy compared to the S2000. But alongside that, the safety element, obviously an important part of it.
Well, we've got possibly up to 75 to 80 kilos out of this car if you work very hard under the new regulation. But we've also increased the safety, and we really like that. Obviously, it's a production car. It is a heavier car than all the lightweight specials. It's based on a standard production car with all that fantastic safety built in. So that's basically been maintained and enhanced further by this impact foam. And it's something like 3 times increase in the side impact survivability of the car.
Well, that'll make your drivers and co-drivers a lot happier.
We'll be very happy.
Let's go around to the back of the car, George, and you can talk us through perhaps as we make our way. This is obviously, as you can tell, it's a working environment. There are boys still working on the car in preparation. The rally actually starts tonight, but it starts with the opening ceremony. Back of the car, George, looks identical to me, but tell me where the changes are there.
Well, the changes are all underneath the car. We have a new cross member, and we can probably nip across and get a bit of film of that, just to see the actual cross member itself. We have completely new suspension arms.
I think is that the Portuguese Navy just leaving behind us there, George? That's one of the great things, isn't it?
Fantastic. It is the Portuguese Navy. I see the Portuguese flag on the front. and it appears to be staffed by school children doing exercises in the morning.
Yeah, there we go. One of the great things about being in the middle of the Atlantic. Well, George, you were mentioning the cross member, an important new development on this car.
Well, the whole rear end of the car has been stiffened by the introduction of this cross member, and we also have some roll cage changes homologated by the roll cage manufacturers to enhance that feature. So again, the car much more responsive, allowing the chassis is now allowing the modern suspension systems to really work in their optimum manner. So there's a huge enhancement in the car's physical attributes, basically.
So it's a lighter car to drive. It's the drivability of the car has improved.
It's lighter. It's even more fun to drive than it was. It's more responsive. It's faster. Nominally, you would say around a second a kilometre faster. There will be some circumstances where it's not making so much benefit. There will be other circumstances where it will be more than that.
And George, obviously you talked initially about making it affordable. All these changes must come at a price. Compared to a Group N car, top level Group N car, similar or a little more expensive?
It's about €15,000 more expensive.
Still considerably cheaper than a Super 2000 car?
Well, the sum total of the parts, if you were building this car yourself in your garage, it would still be I think well under 6 figures in euros. You know, well under 6 figures in euros. Of course, if you come to Manfred Stoll and he builds you his supreme car, it's going to be a lot more than that, because you're building in, you know, a huge amount of work and experience in it. But it's still the package that the grassroots rally user, the guy building the car in his garage at the side of his house, can still do this.
George, it's an exciting weekend. Great to see your new car. We'll wait and see how it performs against the S2000s on the gravel here in the Azores. The very best of luck this weekend, George.
Can I give you a quick preview as well?
Go on then.
In Thousand Lakes Rally in just 2 weeks' time, we have Per Gunnar Andersen driving an R4 car from Tommy Mäkinen, and I think Per Gunnar's target is to lead the rally for a couple of stages, so the car won't last very long, but PG will make it go.
George, we will look forward to Finland. Before that, we'll look forward to the Azores. Good luck.
Thank you very much, Colin.